Yeah.
You know, a blind man could do better.
No. Fuck. I wish this never happened. Let's clarify one thing. I really don't have a lack of work. Actually, I have a surplus of work. I need someone to give me a hand. Actually, there's a kid coming down in a couple of weeks' time because it's too much. So I'm not looking forward to gain any more work. So this for me, that kind of person is a pain ass. We do it because that's the deal. Because because I already explained, I have to. I can't just say no to this. But this is getting ridiculous now. So next steps is obviously I have to remove the turbo setup because this is, besides obviously being, what the fuck is that? Turbo is, you can hear it, but this is the play on it, so it's pretty much fucked. And yeah, I need to remove the wiring room. I decided this wiring room is just, there's no point trying to save it. It's just too much crap done. Haven't removed it yet, but even here on this side, there's so much unknown what they've did. And these wiring rooms, they don't cost much money. You can have them second-hand ones for 150 quid both sides. It's like, oh, fuck it. It's gonna cost less effort and less money actually to replace it, because it has to be taken off anyway. And then when the new one arrives, I just have to lay on the engine, obviously inside the car, the new wiring room. So that's gonna probably overall cost less, or probably the same money than me removing it, fixing it, and put it back on. And then you got still joint kind of fucked about wiring room. It's just easier, safer, and quicker just to get another one. But I have to gain the access behind the engine proper, because again I didn't put it on. There is so much wrong, so much bad happening, that I need to verify and check every single part, because so far 99% of every single part we've checked was done really, really bad, almost to the point when it looks like sabotaging, which doesn't make any sense, because why would you sabotage your own work? But you've seen it. So everything has to be removed. The fuel system has to be redone, because this is obviously dangerous. I know what I need to do on the front, roughly, because yeah, it is what it is. What I like about this is those struts that keep obviously the bonnet up, front and back. I like it. I want them on my car too. Makes everything easy. It's much better than that wonky thing on the top there. But yeah, it's good stuff here. Obviously that needs to be removed. That radiator, oil cooler, oil goes to, initially goes to 110 degrees. Don't put it in front of the one radiator and the second radiator. Just put it on the side. It's just common sense. Plus all of that stuff, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm gonna show it anyway later when I'm gonna do it. It's actually not fixed. Everything is kind of holding with stuff like this. And the radiator for the charge cooler is actually not attached. There's only two balls on the bottom. Everything flaps around. So that needs doing. We know already. The sump needs to be removed from there, because it needs changing. Because the way they've done it is completely horrible, and it's not as bad as it looked like, because I thought that the cooling system, the oil cooling system, the lines are in line with the original pump, kind of circulating, but it's not. It's just taking the oil from the sump, put it back in the sump. But because the engine is tilted a little bit and the sump is kind of like on the angle from the front, they put the lines on the top, so when the engine is running, there's no oil to be picked up from those lines, so that does nothing. Ridiculous. So that is changing. Both panels needs to be off, this one and that one, because this obviously the all cold air intake needs to be put on. That cooler needs to be put back there. We knew it was bad, it was horrible, but not at this level. So yeah, I'm gonna remove that, see what the deal is. The problem is I can't even estimate the job or how long it's gonna take exactly. You know, should close it within a week to do it proper, but you know, that's already longer than kind of at the beginning estimated 3, possibly 4 days, including the turbo system. It's gonna be way longer. It's probably twice than that now. So we know this needs to be done, but obviously it's not my call, it's not my car, it's a customer's car. He needs to make a decision, because as far as I know, you may say, nah, fuck it, I say it as it is, or yeah, make it superb, yeah. That's what we're here for. But again, not my call, so I need to dig it in, see more, because I don't want to say something and then we find something on top of that, and then we go from there. Alright, let me remove this plenum and we'll see if we can, well, we'll see if we find something else. Hopefully not, because it's just getting beyond ridiculous now. Okay. Alright. How did they know I talked to them? How did they know? Eh? So even this, which is not that important, but still, you know, this is the brake booster, brake servo, and if you look, I mean, obviously I've shown how to do it, blah blah blah, etc, etc, nice and neat, and you cut it down there, and there's a small part that goes from here behind the throttle body. There is kind of like an exit for the vacuum, and you connect it there. It's just perfect. This line is literally, like, as you can see, it's like in between, like in the way for the boost pipes. It's like there's no way you can put a boost pipe without catching this. And you know, for some people that seems to be perfectly fine. It's like, how? Every single fucking thing on this car is not bad, just really, really, really bad. Not even like people who never done this will do such a horrible job. Just everything. Behind the throttle body there is a nipple that sticks out, and in the instructional video it shows how that is actually connected with the boost line. There isn't one. The Shizz has been just removed, tapped, and put in M8, 10, whatever that is. Wow. So I'm trying to undo the bolt that holds the bracket on the back here, and it's not standard. They've changed it, which is fine. It's a 13mm, I can do it. And it was like, ah, this shit. So I start losing and removing it, and it was like, hold on, I'm start moving this up, and the whole bracket starts to move. It's on the bottom, it's attached to nothing. So why put it back on? I swear to God, when I say every single thing I touch is horrible, it's like, don't make any sense. This is no joke. I've never seen anything like this in my life. Honestly, every single thing I'm touching is just... injector fuel rails. This came out alright. That was one good thing. I don't know what to say. What I can do is just show it to you. I'm removing this turbo, and then it's between the sub frame, that Jubilee clip just turns around. It's not good access for the screwdriver to get in, and I was like, hold on, this thing is not actually tight. It's coming off without taking the Jubilee clip off. So yeah, cheers for that. Makes my job easier. I really don't like that setup, TFSI. I don't understand why people would put anything like this, because it's a stupid design. You don't really gain much from this setup when there is so many better options for these engines. Probably cheaper and better, and not that stupidly complicated. It's just, I don't like it. There's just nothing really good about it, period. It's not like something special, you know, that you have to complicate stuff, but then you have some good gain, so it's worth doing. It's just not worth the, well, anything really. It needs to come off in order to take that off. It's just I don't know, it just don't make sense. And here you can actually see clearly where one of the lines, the cooling lines, and actually the return line too, was rubbing against the drive shaft, so that was just a matter of time. Also that, I actually didn't lose it, it just came off, so you know, it was just on kind of like, you can see how little up to here, and this is oily because it was just not tight on it. So that's another thing that was just waiting for, you know, don't have to say it, we will know what's gonna happen if that gets lost. Fucking hell, truck car. The amount of oil you put on the truck, if people knew it, probably caused some, you know, slap oversteer with the cars behind them. But yeah, I'm hoping this engine is good, like built correctly, because at this point everything is questionable. But it's survived so far. You know, if engine something is wrong, usually come out fairly quickly, so should be okay, should be alright. Obviously once I remove the sump, then we're gonna know better, but for now, I mean, this has to be come off anyway, because we got a different exhaust manifold, different turbo. It's a second hand one, but it's a nice setup, so we're gonna put that on. But after obviously I've sorted all the problems, and there's so many of them. Also the cooling from the turbo was fitted to that, and we blanked this. Nothing should be fitted here, because originally there's reservoir attached to the turbo cooling actually should come out of that piece there, which is usually mounted there. There's another one here which we provide in aluminium. This is another one, this is not something we provide. And everything was, this is what buggers me, everything was provided in a kit, all the bolts, nuts, Jubilee clips for the fuel lines, even the bearings to make the shifting nice. And just where is that part? I mean, someone paid for it. I mean, we received the money for it, we send everything now. It's like, why it's not here? Well, why many things here. I don't think we're gonna get to the bottom of having the answers. So yeah, we're gaining. You see what I was talking about, that wire which was loose here? Look, I pull it from here, it's to the alternator. So that junction there, which, why would you even do it? Why would you even do something like this? Doesn't make any sense. Even if you not mechanically minded or whatever, he's like not a specialist or someone professional, anyone, why would you even think this is a correct way to do it? It's just you stop, it's like, holy shit, hold on, this doesn't make any sense. Am I doing this right? Probably not. Let me have a look on the videos. Oh, it's too long, I'm bored. Alright, let me call them, let me drop them an email, let me drop them a message, or anything, you know. If you don't want to use your own brain cells, you know, ask. No, too much. Fucking leave it, let's just budget together and blame them. It's backfiring, is it? Massively. Alright, let me have a look what's behind there. So another thing, as we hear, plenum is removed. Obviously the throttle is, well, not how it should be, because it is what it is. So yeah, I need additional port, because this port we use it for N75 valve, or obviously boost for the, in this case, mag valve, which will be repositioned in a better place. Then this one obviously is blanked off, but in this case, because he's running Ignitron ECU, you want the map sensor. Is this actually genuine original one? Oh, 4 bar. I don't know, I need to check, but I think this is just a normal one, not bigger. Anyways, this should be put here, if anything. So you have the access, you know, got the plug here. It's nicely positioned if you want to, you know, but not there. That's like, you have to crawl under the car to remove it. Why? Don't understand. Nice, you know, crumps, clips, but that's all. So yeah, this one, something is wrong because ECU doesn't see the sensor. It was connected, the plug was there, was connected, it's not broken, so it's either the sensor itself or something wrong with the wiring, which is another thing make me, you know, think that changing the wiring loom is actually a good idea because it's so much fucked with. Plus again, if you put additional sensors, there is oil temperature sensor, oil pressure sensor, which none of them actually shows in ECU, so I don't know how they connected. Well, actually they're not, we've seen it, they just didn't bother. But all this additional wiring, it should be put on inside the original wiring, you know, so put the additional sensors wires inside there, make it nice and clean. I mean, people pay you for that, so why not? I don't understand. So that's what I do, or at least put it on my adapter wiring loom, for example, which is easier because it's slimmer and clean and everything has the correct lengths. So many ways to do it correctly and not that difficult. So, but yeah, with 99% we're gonna change the engine harnesses. We start from scratch. It's just gonna be quicker and easier. All right, let me see that. Let me probably jump it here, maybe. Yeah, that's good enough. So, generally speaking, it's just bad as so far, but nothing too special. This stuff is just loose. This is a crank sensor from the Volkswagen. That plug there, which is behind, I will explain there why it's just left loose there when it should be on the engine nice and tight with the zip ties. There is a proper route to it. All of this should be here, and this, for example, this one here is, I think this is the return line, yeah, this is the return line for the fuel, and it was there, you see, scrubbing against the bulkhead between the, you know, what I said before. You can see it proper there. And that one there is the feed line, which is again there on it above the alternator. You see, it's just stuff just don't make sense why it's just done this way, like purposely build it wrong and bad, and like let's make it so it's gonna give some issues. I can't explain all the way around. It's like I may be wrong, but that's at least how it looks like. I mean, this is life, like we said, you know, that being there is something that I can't comprehend. How would you do it? But it makes me worry that there's nothing here to cause this. This has been done before. I really don't know what to even think about that, because what I'm thinking don't make sense, but it's the only explanation. I hope I'm wrong, because so shit. Now this line here, which is zip tied to the sensors, that takes, you know, it takes off from the port of the original oil pressure sensor, and it goes to the ECU, and obviously the sensors from there goes to the ECU. Well, it's supposed to go to the ECU, but they don't, because obviously the wires are actually not connected to anything. But apparently it's actually a nice setup. Just had a chat with Sam from S63, and he says he used them, been reliable, and just, yeah, they just is a good setup, nice, quick, cheap, and is a nice setup, and it's easy to get because obviously it's flexible. You can put those sensors wherever you want them. I wouldn't put them under the car, because why making your job complicated? It'll have complicated for you and for the customer after, because again, we build the cars, but then they have to be used after, they have to be serviced, they have to be taken care of, they have to have issues, if they arise, sorted out, so make everything easier. You know, so you have to think ahead. Besides that, it's just the usual we already covered yesterday. You know, that shouldn't be there. I'm gonna cut it there, because from there to the throttle body, well, the throttle body not really, because probably have to change it, because that's already been removed and tapped, so I can't put it back together the way it was. And again, you know, from the plenum I need those ports. This port here we use it for the brakes booster, The one underneath we use it for boost control, which is going to have different turbo, but I can walk around it. I mean, I can do stuff, that's not a problem. It's just wrong. And this is, I'm not even getting into electrics for now, because I need to speak with him, and you know, we have to make a decision to get it fresh wiring loom for the engine, and then I'm gonna remove the whole lot, start from blank and put it together the way it's supposed to be to start with. You know, all of that stuff, why is not tied? This is all moving parts. This is fuel line, this is fuel line, this is electrics, this is plug for the sensors, that's another sensor which is again not connected to anything, it's supposed to be but it's not. Again, this is, you know, just this needs to be changed, because well, we need a fresh one with a new one and put it, you know, the way it's supposed to, because that junction is so simple. It goes to the starter motor, and one side goes here, yeah, which takes power from here. Once you supply the power to here from the battery, so the battery cable goes here, then from here obviously goes this wire which supplies the power to my adapter wiring loom. This is the power take off, not take in, you know, at this point. So I don't understand. So these, all of these is taking power from here, which it's just wrong at so many levels. It's just not the way it's supposed to be, not the way it should work. So you have to bodge, you have to invent something to make it work in the wrong way. And I don't understand how they went the length of actually doing that, instead of just plug the stuff in and make it work, allow it to work the way it was designed to. I don't understand why making stuff up and then creating yourself an issue to be solved. Why? What is the reason? I understand they tried to slag me off and all this stuff, but even to that extent, that's plain stupid. It's yeah, it's a tragedy, it's a comedy, it's a shit show, but some of the things I'm like, I don't even know what to think. It's like that wiring room there, also this. All of this should be zip tied at least to the starter motor. But even that, you know, that I haven't touched it yet, and it's all moving. Why is all moving? It's loose. This is the main part. Obviously we got bigger issues here, of course, but even that. I mean, you break in this car, you work on this car, so you know there's only one wire that goes to that starter motor. This is not your junction. This is not where you when you take your junction for all the powers around the engine. Fucking hell. I don't know what else to do. I mean, that's, yeah, strip it down, remove everything. As long as the engine is healthy, just rebuild everything the way it's supposed to. But also I have to remove the thermostat. Actually, I'm gonna do it now, because I bet you the thermostat that we sent to put it in is not there. Actually, let's find out. Let me have a look. Well, I was wrong, and this is actually bad, because there was an issue and this car was running very hot, like very hot. And I was like, we know why, because you have to put my thermostat in. And I said, okay, thermostat is not on, because that's the easiest explanation. But go against, because I wasn't sure, and this actually is, because you can see what it says behind. This is one of our thermostats in the kit, so this was fitted correctly, which is bad, because if it wasn't, problem solved. But now we have the problem to diagnose, and we don't know what it is, because this car shouldn't run that hot, and it does. That being said, I don't know if it was bled or not, so we're just gonna have to assemble everything, make sure everything is as it should be, bledded, and if the engine is alright, this shouldn't be overheating, especially because this has probably like 5 times bigger than radiator, because you've seen it's got like a massive Mishimoto rad, and we run standard radiators, like bone standard into the other ones. They thin, very small, and they work absolutely full track abuse. You know, it survived laps and laps around Nürburgring, no problems whatsoever. The cooling on this is absolutely beautiful, spot on. So This one I'm gonna leave it out. I'm gonna test it if it works, because hey, it may be thermostat, I don't know. I'm gonna test it, make sure it is working correctly, because you know we have them from our supplier, but it's just mechanical thing. Could it fail? Yeah, thermostat, they do fail, you know, sometimes they do, that's why you change them. So make sure it works, and then if it does, put everything back together then, and at the end I'm gonna purge everything, bleed everything, and make sure it works correctly. I'm gonna leave it here. I haven't took the sump off. I'm a little scared to do it because I don't want to find more issues. But again, like I say, the engine has been working, you know, fairly a bit so far, so it should be okay. That's it. Now I'm gonna plan things, find the wiring loom, edit this video. So I want obviously the customer watching both of them, because again, like I always do, everything is crystalline clear. I don't ask people to trust me. I ask people to trust their own eyes and their own judgment. You know, and then he can make a decision his own, because I can either leave it if that has to be, or repair it. But to repair this, it has to be done. It has to be done my way. It's the only way. Sorry, it is what it is. It's the correct way, proper way or nothing. No, but he already said he wanted done proper. He wanted this because it's a weapon. This car has such a big potential. You know, we already found the issues with the engine. We know probably why it wasn't flooded. Obviously, the mat was a bit shit. It wasn't sorted. Sensors weren't connected. The temperature sensor in the intake, for example, the map, the issue very relies on it, because the temperature of the air injected in the engine is very important. If it's too hot, the ECU starts to pull ignition back just to run and safer. That's why sometimes you see loss of power when the engines run too hot, like intake. So, you know, like what we say is like, well, charge cooler not working, we were not too worried about it, because ECU will see the problem and will pull back. The problem is ECU didn't see any temperature on the intake, because that sensor is either not connected, or is broken, or the wiring is broken. I don't know why, it's just this ECU did not see any intake temperatures. So, and that's one of the other reasons why I want to change the wiring loom, because you're gonna start chasing problems and I'm gonna spend 2, 3, 4 hours maybe not even finding it, because that's what it is with a wiring loom. You know, it could be one wire somewhere, or it could be pin swapped, because I haven't worked on this car, so I don't know. And then you find one wire after 3, 4 hours chasing it, and it's like, how much you gonna charge? I mean, 4 hours labor for a piece of wire interrupted or something else. So it's at this point, because there's so many of the issues, it's just not worth even trying to even attempt to repair this wiring loom. The correct, you know, way to do it is to remove it, clean everything around, put everything together the way it's supposed to be originally, and lay down new wiring loom, you know, clean it the way I do anyway, connect everything as we do, and the car fires up, no issues, no problems. The additional sensor, they have to have their own wiring loom integrated in either my adapter wiring loom, because it connects the two ECUs together, it connects the body to the ECU, it connects the body to the original wiring loom, but also goes on the engine itself. You see this part, this is my wiring loom, my adapter, which this goes, you know, the temperature sensor, the oil pressure. Actually, why have they actually connected somewhere? I don't know, it seems connected. I have to go under the car, and obviously goes to the alternator, the crank sensor, the additional one. So the wiring is here. You could lay down additional wires, you know, nicely insulated on the top of it, because it's nice and clean, and you know, the correct length, because the Volkswagen engine wiring loom, it doesn't have a correct length, it's longer. So you know, if you use mine to lay on the top additional wires that you need for the sensors, no matter how many sensors you run, you know, insulated nicely, that's going to be nice, clean and easy job, because again, lengths are already there, already done the job. So use that, take advantage of that. You know, customer paid for it, so, and I've done the job, I've done development, everything is there ready to be used. Why don't you use it? it's, yeah, once I removed everything, it's not too bad because I'm literally picking up from kind of like the conversion half built, like the engine inside, you know, the linkage is in there. Obviously you have to correct it, even that, because that was loose and not correctly fitted or adjusted. The shafts are in, but also these I need to, you know, check them because, you know, a zip tie there, that's not enough. The clamp over there, which is, you know, completely sideways, that's not good. We have to be changing that one, and not all the things. But the good thing is I know this car upside down where the chassis with these engines in, so nothing is a secret, at least now, because there were a lot of secrets hiding under the charge cooler or on this area and inside there. But if I just remove everything and start from the, you know, fresh, is gonna be easier. But this is what we say comes back handy, and what we said was always how easy it is to work on these cars with these engines fitted. You know, on this engine, let's say engine alone, it's much easier to work on this engine in this chassis because it's so roomy. In front wheel drive cars, the turbo, all of this is behind the engine, between the engine and bulkhead, so it's a bit fiddly. But this is like, turbo is here, like, yeah, all the space in the world. The plenum, and again, is plenty of access to remove it. I just did. Once you remove the plenum, look from here, you can see how much, you know, you can put your hands on anything. You know, the oil filter housing, the sensors, the breather, which this again we have to change because obviously that is not right. Anything you need, you know, the fuel lines, you know, I can do them from here now. But that also is a good thing, but also shows how bad this job is once again, because even if you put the engine in and it's like, you know what, these lines are shit, we can't leave them, you know, rubbing against the alternator or against the sensors or against the plenum or against the bulkhead, which in this case was all of this. Just take the plenum off like I did. It doesn't take that much, and you have plenty of space to fix your fuck up, you know, do it right, do it correct. But obviously doing this correct was never an intention, and this just proves it. I could never imagine someone can do such a bad job, and I don't think this was just, I truly believe this was done badly with a purpose. I know it's a bold statement, but I don't have any other explanation, and I genuinely hope I'm wrong, because I don't think people are that bad, like malicious thinking, not that far. And to be honest, now, like 100% honestly, you know, I don't know the guys at TT Space. I only seen the guy who made the video. I guess he's, you know, the company or whatever is his. He didn't look like a cunt. He looked all right, you know, as that could be a nice guy by the look of it. At least I guess. So it's getting more and more confusing. I really don't know what to do with this. I really don't know what to think. I mean, I don't attach my agenda to anything. I show everything. I see what I see. I see what I find the facts, and according to the facts, I draw my conclusions. In this case, my conclusion is very unclear. I never came across something like this. I know it may sound like a bullshit, but honestly, in all my career, I never come across something like this, because if it's one thing, two things, or three things, okay, but this is not. This is, like I said, you please correct me if you think I'm wrong, but this wire here, there is nothing inside here where this wire is to do this damage. And if you do, to the extent to break this wire, because this was there, to break these wires, you know, from here, this you have to chew them up against the metal, but this is positive. If this was contact in this, with this, for example, it will never chew this up, and if it will go in contact, you know, it's either catching fire because there's a lot of amps in the battery, or the battery explodes because you constantly have it in short. So it just didn't happen there. So that was put in that state, or that has been done after it's been put there, but it just didn't occur naturally, if you know what I mean. And also, this is very kind of obvious. It's many of these things, but this is one of them. And like Steve says, like why they bluntly say they had to modify the wiring loom. In here, a lot of this bullshit here, and then next to it is like this is literally here. And you see, there's labels A8, A15, and A3. A means the plug, which is top, because Toyota uses the designation plugs on these as A, B, C, and D. So plug A, this one here, pin number 3, pin number 8, and pin number 15. Each wire to where you go. You connect these 3 wires, guaranteed and proven by every single conversion that people have done, that I've done. That's how it works. You connect that stuff and obviously correctly connect it, and everything works every single time. These wiring looms, all of them, when they come to us, because someone else builds them for me now, they are tested on our test engine. They actually plugged everything on in like simulation ECU, both of them, and run on the engine. But also we plug the OBD diagnostics, and we check for all the sensors, because they all have to read what they have to read. Because if that is connected is one thing, but then we actually have to see if the connection is good between here and the sensors. Because my sensors are good obviously on the test engine, and I want the ECU actually sees them. So we test them in depth, not just, oh, it works, fuck off you go. No. So I don't accept any sort of bullshit saying, oh, your adapter wiring loom doesn't work. I'm sorry, they are coming from out of a working engine. Only then has been sent to you. And I do it because for the peace of mind, because if you build a car and you genuinely have an issue and it doesn't start, but you know that side is already tested, you know the problem doesn't come from that side. You have an issue someone else, because most of the times with electrics, the biggest problem is to diagnose the problem. Once you've done that, it's easy to fix, because usually it's just a wire somewhere. So it just makes sense. Yeah.
Is that their wiring?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no. A blind man could do better.
No.
Fucking hell, that's bad.
Yeah.
And they just chopped at these wires here, look.
Yeah. Chopped it and leave them live. The roller cage is actually attached to the chassis, to the floor, through 3 bolts. Not even washers under these 3 bolts. So yeah, that's good for nothing. That's good for nothing. You can literally pull it strong and pull it out of the chassis, pull out the floor, because it's just a floor panel which is very thin. Christ. But it is a nice car, to be honest. Nice steering wheel, nice clogs, you know, smaller finishes and all of that. This is so cool. I probably want one too. Decent seats, you know, harnesses, they're alright. 4 points, don't like them. I like the 5 points. They hold you way better inside. But all the rest is, yeah, big potential. So I'm taking this sump off. It's keep bothering me. It's just so much unknown and so much shit happened so far. Everything that we touched, it was bad. It was like, you know what, let's at least that somehow stick them off anyway. Let me have a peek. Let me have a look. Before doing that, I want to show you the cooling system. Do you remember when at the beginning when we had this in the previous video, I said, oh, this is bad because, you know, you can't put that scavenge pump in line with your own oil pump. I said, but I need to see how it's actually done. And I was wrong. It's not done the way I thought it would be, which would be disaster. It's done much better. However, even a good idea about the execution still doesn't work, and I'll show you why. So, oil cooler is there, the pump is there circulating, and what it does, it just simply, which is great, takes the oil from the sump, from the engine sump, you know, throw it to the cooler and brings it back cool down all inside the sump. Same points, I don't agree, you know, they've been same place, but you know, it makes a circle. It makes much more sense than obviously doing what I've imagined it was doing, because that would be horrible. This is not bad. However, again, if you have a common sense that you know the sump contains oil, well, how much? 4 or 5 liters. When the engine runs, obviously the oil goes down, because obviously it's gonna get circulated around inside the engine, because is that missing bolt there? No, it's just short. Bolt is there, alternator one, but it's not sticking out there, so it's too short, but yeah, he's there. Anyways, so if you look at this sump, because obviously the engine is slightly tilted back, it depends, because so these engines that they come with different cars, sometimes they completely upright, sometimes they tilted, sometimes they tilted more. If you look at when we fit it inside the mr2, the gearbox line this is completely flat, like as it should be. But this sump, like I like the metal sumps, so they're kind of a hybrid, and they have a metal pan, and they follow the line of the gearbox. So this part is there, so this doesn't stick down as much, which is good for one thing, and the bad for the other thing. The bad is like they contain a little bit less oil, and these ones not only been obviously they have like a guard here, like a skid plate on his own, which is good, reinforced, and the baffled sump. And the baffle inside they actually have like a valve, like one-way valves, which prevents obviously oil starvation in corners. It helps with that massively. They don't have that issue even on the truck, so that's good. Depends obviously how fast you go in the corners, how long the corners and all that stuff, but this definitely helps. So out of the two, this is still better, and as much as external I prefer the shallower one, because you know it follows the line of the gearbox. But if you imagine 5 liters in all of that, you know, if you're trying to take the oil out of the sump, you know, make sure that your fitting can actually take the oil out. Let's already lose this. Haven't drained the oil yet. You know what I'm saying? This is slightly lower, so maybe something's gonna come out of this. No. Now before you think I'm full of shit. See, the oil is there. This is literally just above the line or where the oil is. Why would you go all the way and do the whole system, the whole thing, and then don't make it work because you put the fittings in the wrong position? Seriously, this is getting ridiculously stupid. You know when I say it's like this is some of the things looks like sabotage or whatever you want to call it. I don't have a name for it. I'm getting back into thinking this is plain stupidity. I don't want to offend anyone because I don't know these guys, personally. I may be completely wrong, but you tell me, what should I think? Sump is off, and do you remember when I say I bet you there's the sump and the pickup is full of silicone? It's not. They haven't used silicone. I don't know what they used. I don't know what it is, this stuff, but it's definitely not silicone. When I took the sump off, you see what I mean? Where they're good because they got these flaps, so it allows the oil go in the middle but not further, and vice versa. Look, this one is broken. No, it's still there. Anyways, one side to the sump off, stuff will start coming off like this, and it's brittle, like hard. See? It's like, what is this? Like glue, like plasticky thing, and it's full of it. So the moment I looked into it, let me just see if you can see. Obviously, clearly, this stuff is everywhere, mixed with the paint, obviously. And this is actually paint on its own. But now let me just get the light so you can see clearly. Look, it's just fucking everywhere, sticking out. It's like, what is that stuff? Yeah, it's very hard. I mean, you don't want this around your engine, which it is. Let's have a look in the pickup. Hold on. What the fuck is that? Fucking hell. I fucking knew it. Let me just take a pick and see what's that. Ah, bloody lost it. Where did it go? I don't know. Oh, here. No, this is not part of the seal. This is, like you see, there's like a groove. I don't know what this is. It's part of something. God knows what it is. But yeah, the pickup is bit. There's a lot of bits there. If you can see on the camera, probably not. And there's full of shit on this side too. But that actually looks like metal. Oh, fucking oil dripping on my camera. No, please don't do it. Don't. Let me just dig that stuff out. I want to see what it is. Yeah, no, this is metal. This is not plastic. This is metal. Not alloy. This is metal. Let me see. Where's let's see if I'm wrong or right. Seems like metal. This is magnet. Yep, this is metal. This is not alloy. I'm not sure what to do with this. I mean, I'm not sure what to do with this. It's got the rods in them, you know. If this was mine, I would be just checking the bearings now, at least, because that's all you can do here. What else can you check? Stuff is everywhere, look. It's like a glue, some sort of hard glue. Strange, because it wasn't sealing anyway, it was fucking oil everywhere. At least the pump seems to be new. But yeah. This is gonna have to be cleaned. It's not hard to get it cleaned, it's all coming off, like very brittle. And it's everywhere. See? Never seen anything like this, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. There you go. Everything is filthy. This is the what I was thinking about, the bit that goes obviously line and this you can, you know, put it anywhere, but not here. This is the worst place to have it, somewhere up. But yeah, it's you can definitely use it. It's a nice block. You know, you got the Toyota sensor, you got the sensor that does nothing. These are the wires that I told you, but they're not from here. This is 2 wires, this is 2 core, this is 3 core, so this was literally never connected. God knows, I literally don't have, I have no idea. Yeah, these are the wires that go actually in the cab, probably to have a read of something, but obviously they're not, because, you know, they should be connected to something. These were not bolted on. This fucking thing is everywhere. These 2 bolts were not there. To be honest, I don't blame them. They've been on an angle. A lot of people leave them out. Even Steve leave them out. They don't. It's okay. I mean, I put them on all the time because I can't sleep if they're not there. But there you go. That one is snapped. This was cross-threaded. This was cross-threaded. Actually, you can see it. Cross-threaded. Couple of them they were loose, but yeah, I mean at this point this is kind of like a standard, so I see it's not bad. It's just cross-threaded, snapped bolts, loose bolts. It's fine. This is just the way this is it. So no surprise anymore. But that's, I'm gonna leave it there because again we have to change this sump. It's gonna take me some time to clean this crap because silicone is just easy. You just scrape it off. This is brittle. You just I don't know. And again, I'm not familiar with this stuff. It looks like a Loctite almost, like red Loctite. Go figure. Maybe good. Maybe good. I don't know. It's just don't put it so much. That is inside the engine. There was more inside the engine and actually under to seal it. You know, you can see it here. It's everywhere. Look, it's coming apart in bits. You see, and there you go. It's brittle. It's kind of reddish, so looks like. And you see how easy. Look, see how easy it comes off. Look. So this goes inside the engine. Clogs, obviously, you pick up. So oil starvation, no matter what, no matter how nice of the oil cooler you have. Yeah, full of this shit there. You can see it now. See it? It's dripping oil everywhere. What a moron. That's better. So yeah, shit.